Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into a fascinating and heartbreaking story, the rise and fall of one of America's most beloved toy retailers, Toys R Us. This is the story of the greed that killed Toys R Us. Founded in 1948 by Charles Lazarus, Toys R Us began as a small baby furniture store in Washington, D.C. It wasn't until the 1950s that Lazarus shifted focus to toys, recognizing the growing demand for children's products. By 1957, the first official Toys R Us store opened its doors, featuring a unique, warehouse-style layout that allowed families to explore aisles filled with toys. The 1980s marked the golden age for Toys R Us. With catchy jingles, memorable commercials, and the iconic Jeffrey the Giraffe as their mascot, the company became synonymous with childhood joy. At its peak, Toys R Us boasted over 800 stores in the United States and a strong presence worldwide. But as the 1990s rolled around, the retail landscape began to shift. Big box retailers like Walmart and Target started to dominate the toy market, offering lower prices and a wider array of products. Toys R Us struggled to compete with these giants, and their sales began to decline. In 2005, in a bid to revive the company, Toys R Us was taken private in a leveraged buyout by Bain Capital, KKR, and Vornado Realty Trust. This deal, worth $6.6 billion, would prove to be pivotal, and not in a good way. The heavy debt burden placed on the company began to take its toll. Then came the 2008 financial crisis, which hit retail hard. With consumers tightening their wallets, Toys R Us found it increasingly difficult to attract shoppers. Instead of innovating and adapting, the company clung to its traditional business model, which proved to be a fatal mistake. At the same time, the rise of e-commerce, especially Amazon, changed the game completely. Shoppers began to prefer the convenience of online shopping over brick-and-mortar stores. Toys R Us failed to establish a competitive online presence, missing out on a crucial market. By 2017, Toys R Us was drowning in debt. Despite attempts to restructure and revitalize the brand, the company filed for bankruptcy in September of that year. The news sent shockwaves through the toy industry and left many wondering what would become of the beloved retailer. In March 2018, Toys R Us announced it would close all U.S. stores, marking the end of an era. Thousands of employees lost their jobs, and childhood memories were shattered as the iconic stores shut their doors for the last time. For many, the closure of Toys R Us was more than just a business failure, it represented the loss of a cherished childhood experience. Former employees and loyal customers alike shared their heartbreak, reminiscing about the joy the store brought to generations of children. The story of Toys R Us serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of corporate greed. The burden of debt, the failure to adapt to changing markets, and the neglect of customer experience ultimately led to its demise. A once thriving giant became a victim of its own financial mismanagement. Today, while the physical stores may be gone, the legacy of Toys R Us lives on in the hearts of those who grew up with it. The lessons learned from this story remind us of the importance of adaptability and the impact of corporate decisions on everyday lives. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and share your memories of Toys R Us in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep the magic of childhood alive.